Alright, yo, hey YouTube, what up? Man, yes, it has been, oh man, I'm trying to think, at least 2 years. It might be 2 years actually, it might be even longer since I've actually made a video. But yeah, and I'd like to thank all the people in, under my comment sections who've actually said, hey, when are you gonna make another video? Are you gonna react to Star Wars? Are you gonna react to the Batman new Superman? Are you gonna react to all the... I kind of just got tied up and stuff and just kind of fell off the map. And then when I decided maybe I wanted to do more reactions, I was like, do I really want... I was like, there's so many reactors on YouTube, is it really worth it? I mean, it's not like I was doing it anyway to get famous. I was just doing it to have an opinion and just have fun. But I decided, yeah, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe I'll decide to come back and start up again. It all depends. Which is why you notice my camera is going in now, because I still even have the old camera I had before, because I've been too lazy to even bother to go out to get a new camera, because I haven't done any videos. But I'm getting into a bunch, going way off. But hey, I decided if I'm going to make another video, this is the time to return, because Batman v Superman. Now, if anybody has watched my, let me, 1 second, turn down my Doctor Who. If anybody watched my videos, they know that I made so many videos about when Batman v Superman was announced, the casting of Ben Affleck, which I flipped out over, the casting of Gal Gadot, and all that. So, anybody knows I was hyped for that film, even though I disappeared and didn't do reactions to any of that stuff. But here we go. So this is going to be my review of the film, full of spoilers. I'm just going to tell you now, if you haven't seen the film, you don't want spoilers, don't watch this. But here we go. So, this is a film I've been waiting for forever. This is a 25-year in the making film which, as a diehard DC and a huge Superman fan, and just huge Superman, Batman fan, those being my 1 and 2 in terms of favorite superheroes, Spider-Man being 3, and then of course I put it the X-Men as 4 because I love the X-Men. But I was very pumped for this, and loved the trailers, all of them. I didn't really have any complaints. Maybe they did. I mean, maybe some here and there. And 2 days before the film came out, I saw the reviews online, and I pretty much it didn't shock me because I expected the critics not to like it. What shocked is how low it was, that they unanimously just seemed to hate this more than Man of Steel. So that kind of sucked, but it didn't spoil me from wanting to go see it. So I went to see it, and let me start off the bat. I liked the film. I don't care if you didn't like it. Too bad. I thoroughly enjoyed myself and had fun. So let's get into this. So, film first, the opening of the film. Let me tell you something. Going into this film, I agree with a few other people who've done reviews. I wasn't excited about seeing Batman's parents get shot again and seeing that whole beginning because we've seen it so much. But holy crap, that truly is like the best ever in terms of showing Bruce Wayne's parents getting killed. That was just amazing with A Beautiful Lie Zimmerman score. Holy crap, the way that was done, like the visuals of how that was done in terms of the way Bruce's parents were shot, his father, and then as everybody's pointing, the mother, and the way the pearls was with the gun cocking back and breaking. That opening was just phenomenal. It just was beyond beautiful, and it just got you hyped from that point on. Bruce Wayne as a child rising up out of the cave with the bats, all visually stunning. Then we get in. You get the white screen. 2 years ago, mankind's introduced to Superman. You hear the drums beating. I know what theme it is. I know it's the Wars Here theme. His Chopper Lance, and then we see it. You see the road engine, and boom, the first strike of the road engine going in. Bruce Wayne, well, let me tell you, my heart was pounding throughout that entire opening. I loved it. And let me just say, the road engine is easily, in my opinion, the coolest villain device ever. The sound that thing makes is so eerie. And seeing and having it from this point of view, having the view of somebody who would be on the ground during that attack, honestly, actually makes me love Man of Steel more now that I have that point of view of it. Every time I watch Man of Steel, I just envision the people on the ground and Bruce Wayne on the ground with each strike of the road engine. we got that music just pounding, and while you hear the boom as the road engine kicks in, that opening, I was just blown away. And as you get the different shots of Superman and Zod's fight, that was beautiful. But and then you get that. Then you just get that shot of the tower collapsing and Bruce Wayne just not being able to save those people in the building. But first of all, as soon as you see Ben Affleck on that film, that man's Bruce Wayne. And Ben, I said this in my other videos, I hope that Ben Affleck would be a good Bruce Wayne, and I may have complained about him and said if he turns out good, I hope he does, I will recant. Here it is. I apologize for saying that Ben Affleck should never be Batman, because from the moment you see him, I'm like, that's Bruce Wayne, man. That's Bruce freaking Wayne. Go. Seeing him just run in and charge into the disaster going on was it's just powerful, man. And let's move into the story stuff. Listen, I understand a lot of people have their complaints. There are things in this film I don't like, and I will admit the editing, the way some of these scenes transition is not good. And somebody else pointed this out. I truly believe with these, if you watch a lot of those shots, the way they just cut, I honestly believe that 30-minute director cut, I believe all that footage was going to be in the film. I honestly believe they wanted this film at 3 hours long. Like, they originally probably wanted this film to be 3 hours and have that in. And I have a feeling that extra 30 minutes footage might actually make the transitions and certain things feel a lot better. I mean, there's stuff in the trailer that wasn't even in the movie when you think about it. There's a lot of stuff that was in that trailer that never showed up in the movie. But yeah. But I admit that stuff was off. But did that ruin my enjoyment? No, it did not. Seeing these two iconic characters was just, it's his childhood dream come true. But moving on to the next topics. Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. Holy crap. Phenomenal. We have Gal Gadot is now officially the Wonder Woman for our age. Linda Carter was the original Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot is the Wonder Woman for our time, and she did a phenomenal job. Absolutely phenomenal job. Now, let's move in. Henry Cavill returning as Superman. I said this when Man of Steel came out. I loved Henry Cavill as Superman. I think he's a great Superman. I still think he's a great Superman. Now, I get how people don't like to portray this Superman. I'm fine with it. Listen, in all honesty, I don't want to see the Boy Scout Superman anymore. I saw that with Reeves. It worked. I still like those films. Granted, it's hard for me to watch Superman the movie because I can't stand that ending, and I actually have to fast forward through the whole turning back time thing because it ruins that film for me almost. But in Superman Returns, that was just boring. I get it. The Boy Scout thing with Superman, I don't think will work with the audience, and I actually like that Superman now has an edge term. I like Superman having this kind of edge term. Now, I'm not saying that the dark and grittiness of that, maybe that sometimes goes a little too far with that, but I like the Superman with an edge. Ben Affleck is Batman when he is Batman. Let me tell you, that first shot of him when the cops are going up the stairs and you got the cop looking around with the gun, and then it cuts to that corner, and like in that corner you just see him in the corner. Yo, let me tell you something. That was probably the first time that Batman on screen literally scared the freaking shit out of me. I saw that. Let me tell you something. If I was that cop, I probably would have just had a heart attack and died. Because that is a intimidating, scary Batman. Listen, I like Christian Bale, and I did like his Batman, but in all honesty, his Batman is not intimidating. Except, it maybe the first film, Batman Begins, but after that, his Batman, the way he looks, is not intimidating. And I think that's more of the way that the suit was designed in the later films, the more mechanical kind of looking suit. And I don't think, and it wasn't as intimidating with this suit. And oh my, holy shit, is Ben Affleck huge. And that's his stature. It's just this presence over you that just, is intimidating. Like, you don't want to mess with this Batman because you really think this guy's gonna kill you. And I will get to that. Yes, Batman did kill people in this film, and I'm okay with that too. Mainly because if they're basing this after a Batman that's 20 years, and that, as he said, I spent like 20 years in Gotham, how many good guys left, how many stayed good. This is a damaged Batman. This is obviously a Batman who's lost Jason Todd. I'm hoping that suit is Jason Todd's and not a different Robin, not Tim or why can't I get it? Or Dick, sorry, I couldn't get it in my head. Because I actually wanted to see Tim Drake. Tim Drake is actually my favorite Robin. And also a point after where Barbara Gordon was paralyzed. And personally, I hope Jenna Maloney director's cut is actually Barbara Gordon. I hope they're just lying and saying that because they don't want us. They're just trying to misdirect us. Because in all honesty, Barbara Gordon better not be dead. It better not be a thing where, put it this way, I'll say this real quick. I love the film, but just put it this way: if that director's cut has stuff and has backstory with that suit, and if we find out that Jason Todd is dead and Barbara Gordon is dead, and these are part of the reasons, I will automatically disown Zack Snyder if he says that Barbara Gordon is already dead, because no. Oracle has to come into this Batman. That's a character that needs to be seen. Oracle and Batgirl need to be seen. So she can't. They better not be dead. She better not be dead, because I will be truly pissed considering the character has not gotten any respect outside the awful Batman and Robin film, but needs to be seen again. It needs to be done the right way. Doomsday. The ending with Doomsday, I will say this. I liked it. I will admit, yes, Doomsday looks kind of weird, but we were never going to get that design of Doomsday from the comics. I didn't ever believe when I finally, because they said Doomsday was in the film, and of course we didn't really realize it until we saw the trailer, but I never actually believed if he was in the film he was going to look exactly like the comics, because there's been many incarnations of Doomsday, and that look in the comics with the gray, like, beardish and stuff, you have to remember that's Doomsday way later on of how many times he's died, and the more he's died, he's evolved and looks different. But I get it. They did what they could with this. They did what they could, and I'm fine with that, because oh man, that final battle, and especially with Wonder Woman coming in and just blocking it like that. And I love how the trailers made it seem like it was the Shield moment when she rises up, and it wasn't. It was her coming in and using the bracelets, and then you get a She With You theme start playing. You get those drums pounding. Let me tell you, my theater just cheered like crazy. Gal Gadot, I look so forward to seeing her solo film, getting more of her backstory, because I think easily that's the character that everybody who's seen the film is like really right now the most invested in. Other than Ben Affleck's Batman, I look really forward to seeing what he can do with the solo films. It'll be interesting with Suicide Squad. Maybe that'll give us in more detail of that suit. Maybe we'll get some detail about that suit, whose suit that is, through Suicide Squad. But that's a different time, different place. The technical aspects of this film were great, and as people pointed out, Zack Snyder's, yes, his weakness is he has trouble focusing on a straight story. He kind of sometimes bounces all over the place because he's more focused on how visually to make it look. Because if you watch every scene in this film, visually, in terms of the shot, it's amazing. The dreams, the nightmare sequence with and getting to see the Omega symbol, Darkseid is coming, and they will be in trouble once he gets there. But you watch every scene, and visually those scenes look amazing. Problem is, Zack just has a problem of conveying the story along with those visuals. And maybe he needs a co-director. Maybe that's it. Maybe Zack needs a co-director with him, or somebody alongside him to help him with the story parts of the film, because visually he can give you the visuals. Maybe he just needs the sidebar, like and extra help. Kind of like, I mean, look at the Russo. I mean, and you know, maybe that would be a good idea to have like two people like that. Look at the Russo brothers. I mean, holy shit. I mean, Captain America: Winter Soldier. I love it, which I absolutely love that film. And besides, I love Cap. Cap's the man. Kill Iron Man, Cap. Kill Iron Man. I hate that motherfucker. But off topic. Back to this. I keep going off topic. I gotta stop doing that. This is a long video too. Wow, 15 minutes in. Well, still got more to talk about. The Justice League. I love seeing the Justice League. I know some people have the complaints. It was through the email. I kind of like that Lex was basically. I'll talk about Lex after this part, but I liked how he had like the details and stuff. Like after Superman, he kind of wondered. He's been looking like, is Superman the? You have this alien, and I like how maybe the idea of the last 2 years since Superman's arrival, he's been digging into this research. Like, okay, there's this alien here, but is he the only one? How do we know he is? And I like how he had this research. Seeing the Flash, we'll see how that turns out because I love Grant on TV, but I look forward to seeing the Flash. Aquaman, I look forward to seeing Aquaman finally stop being the butt of the jokes and seeing a badass Aquaman. And Cyborg, that was cool. That was probably out of all three, seeing all those, I expected the Aquaman one would be the one I liked the most, but no, it was the Cyborg one. Seeing like the part Vic Stone and his body just there but being kept alive, and it's really crazy though they cast the guy Miles Dyson, the guy who created Skynet, to be Cyborg's father. I just find that really crazy. Seems like that guy is just cast as the guy who creates these type of like cyborg or computer type things. But I find it interesting. I feel like they did that on purpose to cast him. And I loved seeing the mother box on the table and then it just breaking off and then helping connect and build Cyborg. I love that. Which also, that box also shows outside the nightmare sequence where you saw in the future, which obviously they're setting up Injustice with that. That Darkseid already has things on Earth. I like because you see that mother box and you're like, okay, that's a Darkseid alien tech, which means, and then you think, okay, if that's the mother box, that means Darkseid has been on Earth or has things that are on Earth, which means he's been watching and paying attention to Earth. He's been tracking what's going on there. Okay, so now let's move into Lex. I'm trying to move through these things really quickly because I don't want to make a way too long. I don't want to like do some of these reviews which were like 2 hours, like an hour or 2 hours, almost 2 hours. No, I'm just trying to move through. And as I said, I like the film. I'll give you my score at the end. I'm torn on Lex. Jesse Eisenberg wasn't terrible, but he didn't blow me away, and he wasn't amazing. He was just there. He wasn't, I know he wasn't the traditional Lex Luthor, and it's kind of, and basically he's Alexander, the son of all Lex Luthor, the one that we know the best. I do overall wish that it had been the Lex Luthor. I kind of wish Bryan Cranston had gotten cast to be that Lex Luthor, but apples and oranges. Jesse Eisenberg, I get it. They went the mad scientist route with him instead of the traditional one. This is the Lex who wants to basically, he wants to create or be control. Like he's got like these kind of like Quivers control thing. And when I heard that he was going to originally be cast for Riddler, they actually should have casted him for the Riddler. He probably would have been an amazing Riddler because he almost played some of the things like he was the Riddler and the way he talked. But overall, I didn't hate him, but I think that could have been done. I think you probably could have cast that a little better. Amy Adams, like Lois Lane, like Perry Wright. I'm not going to go into a lot of that. There's no reason to stay on track here. Let's get into some of the details and stuff. The biggest one I'll talk about at the end. I've heard a lot of people say, okay, when Lex is talking to Batman at the end in jail there, he's like, the bell has been rung. he knows he's coming. And some people think, well, what does that mean? Does that mean is Lex working for Darkseid? Is he this? Here is my theory. The ship that Lex gets from the government, which is the down ship that Zod crashed into Metropolis, that's the ship that Clark finds in Man of Steel. And it's the ship he first enters. We see it open, and we also see the dead Kryptonian. We see the open pod with no one in it. My theory is that ship was a scout ship, which it says it was a scout ship. It has been to many different worlds. And my theory is that ship ran across a world that had Darkseid, and has come across that in its like journeys and stuff before it crashed into Earth. And who knows, maybe the reason why the dead Kryptonian was it. The cool now for me, what I would do, my idea to do would be that ship, like the empty pod. It would be really cool is if that ship actually ran across Darkseid, which is why it has why it could have information about him. And it would be cool if Darkseid actually has cure. That would be really cool if actually Darkseid has cure, and cure could be used later on, brainwashed by Darkseid as like an enemy to use against them. My also hope would be that Feyor, because my hope also is that Feyor somehow is alive in the Phantom Zone and has been found by somebody and will come back, because I want to see Feyor back. But my theory is that Lex knows about Darkseid through that ship. That ship has come across Darkseid and actually has information about him. And Lex, when he wanted to know about the Kryptonian history and technology, that was in there somewhere. That he learned about what Darkseid is through that. Like, that the ship told him there's this higher being in the galaxy, ruler, who is basically this conqueror, an immortal creature out there. And I feel like he learned that from him. And the theory is when he says he's like, he knows now, like kind of like he knows Superman, like Superman's dead. Which, yeah, spoiler, Superman dies, but I'll talk about that in a few seconds. But that Darkseid now, with Superman out of the way, he says he's coming. Because you think about it, the biggest threat to Darkseid, if he wanted to invade Earth, would be Superman. With Superman gone, there in Darkseid's eyes, who was there to challenge him fully? Who can fully challenge? Because Darkseid is basically an immortal god. You think Doomsday is good, powerful? Darkseid is powerful. Granted, Doomsday is immortal too, and I'm hoping maybe, who knows, maybe Doomsday could come back sometime. Maybe we haven't seen the last. Maybe, who knows, maybe we'll see Doomsday again in some form or another, and maybe he'll actually, maybe that time, maybe next time he may look like that, because it'll be him regenerated. Because think about this, if Superman, we all know Superman will come back, but if he can come back, that doesn't mean, that means Doomsday can come back, since he can keep regenerating. But that's my theory on why Lex says that, is that he knows about Darkseid through that ship. The alien technology in that ship had information on that person. So, because generally he basically was saying that, like, you may have locked me up in this, but you're all screwed, because what's coming for you guys is going to destroy and wipe us all. He is coming for us, as they showed with that picture, and as we saw in the dream sequence with the where basically you have the Superman who, I'm guessing it's why when he says she was my world, is basically Lois is dead, and basically Superman has completely lost it and is now control. I think he actually, the way you have that, because you see the parademons in the background, and the one parademon that looks like it knocks out Bruce. I think with that, Superman is being controlled, I think, there by Darkseid. I think at that point, that's like a future of Darkseid's invaded. He has conquered Earth. There's still people left, and Superman is his control now. Those basically soldiers are Superman worshippers, the human or humans that he controls, and then you also have the parademons who are, because you notice how when you see him, the parademons flying down and picking people up. My theory is the parademons, those soldiers are actual humans that have been turned into like zombie, like brainwashed, that are used now for Superman's actually army and guards to help him take care of the insignificance of humans. Because let me tell you, that scene where just Superman comes down and he just walks up and he just looks like and just turns his head and just burns basically each person. That scene was creepy and scary as hell, because that scene tells you how dangerous Superman can really be when he's not on your side. That if he wasn't good, that's how dangerous he can be. Basically, you're insignificant to him, and in a matter of seconds, he could just wipe you out. Let's get to the fight. The fight was straight out of The Dark Knight Returns. That fight was basically The Dark Knight Returns thrown onto the screen, and I enjoyed it. Now, the way I knew it was going to be kryptonite. I like it was grenades. I liked how he used the kryptonite grenades and the smoke. I knew that's basically what it was going to be, because that's always been Superman's problem, and even I sometimes admit that yeah, there's really the only weakness is kryptonite, and that's kind of the problem at some points in terms of making Superman have like some threats, and why is with Superman in terms of other characters you have to have him fight these. This is basically why you have to have villains like Doomsday, when Superman is a part of it, because you need something that's so overpowering that can actually push him back. You can't like have lower level people, like even like people like the Flash or things like that they would fight, or Aquaman, because even them won't be. You have to just have an Omega type of level threat for Superman, and I get it. That's why people don't like the kryptonite thing, and some people are not big fans of Superman. I still love him. Now, the whole thing of why they stopped fighting, I get it. Some people are like, oh, that's stupid. The mother's name is the same as Bruce. That's why. I took it as when she said that's his mother's name is Martha. I took it as Bruce looked at him and looks at his childhood with his mother dying, and and I think in that moment he realized this is a guy, he has a mother. He, like I did, and I wasn't able to protect my mother. That's basically how Bruce, I feel like Bruce is conveying, in those moments, is conveying that inside himself. Like, I wasn't able to protect my parents. And when Lois says it's his mother, I think Bruce looks at it like, this is a man who's basically trying to protect the person he loves. And I think Bruce kind of feels that in the way as he couldn't protect his own mother, and he lost her, and this is basically Superman trying to protect. And I think that's the connection, is that he may be an alien, but he has a mother, and he's doing this because he's trying to protect. He wants her to not die, and I think that's what resonated with Bruce, and I think that's how I feel why Bruce stopped and was like, okay, I can't do this. I've gone a little too far. Almost. And that fight scene with Bruce in the warehouse, I love that. Where he just literally beat. That was just straight out of the Arkham series, and I love that. And I honestly don't, like I said, I talked about it before, I didn't have a problem with Bruce killing people, because like I said, this is supposed to be a damaged Bruce Wayne, a Bruce Wayne that's had so much shit happen to him, where it's at the point where he's thrown away the moral code. He's like, you know what, it's done, all this stuff has happened, and this moral code has done nothing for me. I've used it and held back for years, and what has it got me? Nothing. And this is a Bruce Wayne who's just so damaged. He's like, you know, I don't care. I really don't. If these guys are shooting guns, then I'm going to take them out. If these guys are doing all this, I'm not going to try to incapacitate them. I'm just going to get rid of them, because there's no point anymore. And I feel like that's why it doesn't bother me as much. Now, Superman dying at the end, I will admit, that hit me hard, because I'm a huge Superman fan, and the way he goes down, that sucked, man. That really sucked. But I get it. They did it to show to have humanity as we blamed him for Metropolis, but now at the end there you have humanity who looks at it like, okay, but now he's gone. So if we did have these things, who protects us now? Now how do we protect? Did we take it? Did we take him for granted? I mean, we all blame him for stuff, but this is a guy who just basically sacrificed himself, just let himself die to save us. And I think that basically resonated with the human race in terms of, wow, okay, maybe we were maybe a little too critical of the guy, because now look, he's gone. And at the end, that's why one thing I'm interested with the Wonder Woman movie, because as she says, I stepped away 100 years ago. Well, why did she? Because that's what I loved. During the fight with her and the Superman Doomsday fight, I love how when it cuts to her on the plane, she's looking at the fight, and I love how she just looks at it, but then she just sits down, and then she's like this, because she's contemplating. Because I love how it wasn't she just saw the fight and then just closed it, took her stuff down, and turned around. No, she didn't want to. She really did not want to intervene. She wanted no, because she saw it, and in her mind she's like, no, I don't want to. She really did not want to get involved in this. So I'm interested to see what happened during that time period. What she, in terms of humanity, what she saw that made her be like, I can't intervene with these people, because it's not going to change anything. I think that in the Wonder Woman movie, I honestly think that either her mother or one of her sisters is going to die as a result of her coming to man's world and not being there to protect her actual family, and losing somebody close to her there, and maybe losing Steve Trevor, and then also seeing how she may have helped World War One, but it meant nothing, because humanity, once again, World War II just went back. So what was this sacrifice for? What did I sacrifice losing this and this for, when humanity just wants to destroy itself again? It's like it was like this was the sacrifice just for nothing. And I'm interested to see. I honestly think I think it's going to be something like that is going to be that hit her so hard, like, I sacrificed for nothing. I helped humanity for nothing, to lose what is close to me, only to see that it really meant nothing. So I'm really interested in that, because, like I said, I love that, but I love how when she decided to, it wasn't, oh, excuse me, I gotta go off the plane. No, it was just her walking, and it was just her walking out, and the stewardess is like, excuse me, man, but nope. And she doesn't turn around. It's like, not gonna give you permission. I'll do it myself. In the way when she was in battle, and Superman's like, he's from my world, and she's like, I've killed monsters from other worlds. It's like, I don't care. She's just like, it's basically like, who cares? I'm ready for battle. And when she pulls that little smirk from Superman, where he looks like damn, okay. He's like, where's this? But seems like she's ready for battle. But yeah, and same thing with the smirks on her face during the battle. I love that, because she's a warrior, and she basically, like, it's almost like the Greek Romans. They love battle. They feasted for the battle. And since she's been going away from this so long, I feel when she got into this battle, it was basically those jarring hits and stuff of her being like, she's like feeling it's like, I've like almost missed that fighting with, like, in the battle with other people, like this, that energy again. And also those hits of her just being like, when she gets this, like, with that little turn, it's like, really, Doom? Really? That's all you got? Come on. Give me, he's like, that's nothing. And then just her flying with the charge back at him. But yes, overall, I like this film. And maybe I'll get hate for it. But you know, that's the thing. We are all allowed to have our own opinions. Just because you like it, somebody can say, oh, well, you're an idiot for liking him. Okay? You think I'm an idiot? I don't care. It's like, why the heck should I care about your opinion? Because for me, I do read reviews, but I don't let it decide whether I'm going to see the movie or whether I like the film. Because there's many films that have gotten great reviews, stellar reviews. I didn't think they were that good. Which I didn't think. I mean, I mean, I'm gonna use example Spider-Man 3, which I don't know, that didn't really get good reviews. Of course, now I'm gonna have to use a Marvel film right now, and then I'll get hit for saying, oh, obviously DC fanboy for hating them. But for example, Thor: The Dark World got high reviews. Thought it was mediocre. The first Thor I also thought was very mediocre. The second one was even worse, and some of the scenes in Thor 2, I mean, I kind of was rolling my eyes at certain points. Iron Man 3, thought that was a piece of shit. And I mean, I've never watched that film again since then. It's also started the downfall of the reason why I actually cannot stand the character of Iron Man. Age of Ultron, thought that was very mediocre compared to the first Avengers, which I absolutely loved. And it was directed by Joss Whedon. I should have loved it, but thought it was mediocre. First Captain America, it was good, wasn't great. Got great. Now Winter Soldier is amazing, and from that point, man, Cap's my boy. That guy's awesome. Cap's my boy. I look forward to Civil War. Let's see. But yeah, so I don't let the reviews determine whether I like a film or not. I go into it, and then I just form my own opinion. And I think basically that's really how anybody should be with the movie. Is just form your own opinion. Don't just take a review and be like, oh, okay, they said it, and then see the film and say, oh yeah, it sucked, and then just basically try to mimic everything that you read, and then just try to make it sound like it's your own words. It's like, no, you're basically just spitting out what you just read. Use your own opinion. But yeah, overall, I like Batman v Superman. If I had to rate it, I'd give it an 8.5. That's my opinion. Not gonna change that. I look forward to seeing where they go from here. I do think some things may need to be done with Zack Snyder in terms of helping him being able to tell a story, because this film opened up big, 170 million, 430 some million, I think, worldwide. But I do believe in terms of how this, as a fan, you can understand, and how as like a non-fan, this film is very confusing to people. I really do believe it's going to have a massive drop-off next week. And I do not think, just because it opened up that big, I don't see this film crossing $1 billion. I really don't. I see it maybe getting to about 700, 800 million, possibly at that, because I don't think the repeats are going to be there for some people. I mean, I'm going to see it for a third time, but I think for some people it won't be there, and that may affect Warner Brothers, because overall, if the story, because like I said, I like the film, and I'm kind of saying this, it makes it seem like I didn't like it, but I think if Zack had been able to convey the story a little better, and I mean, there are plot holes, but it doesn't completely ruin it for me, because there's plot holes in everything. I mean, hell, there's plot holes in Winter Soldier, and actually, technically, there is a lot of them you could actually go through, but it doesn't change the fact that it's like easily my top 3 Marvel film, and I think that film is just phenomenal. I think that it might affect going forward, because Warner Brothers could, down the road, after this whole total is done, may look at this and say, okay, could we have made a lot more money? Yeah, because you look at the opening weekend, 82 million the first day, dropping down to in the 50s the second day. You look at that and you almost think, could this film had opened at $200 million, and had this gotten good reviews, and the story had been, even if it hadn't got stellar reviews, but people who are going to see it would have noticed that the story is more coherent and not just setups for a lot of stuff to come, it might have done even better. This could have been this could have made 500 million in the first weekend, $500,000, and could have crossed the $1 billion mark in 2 weeks by next week, all together worldwide. I think Warner Brothers may look at that, but I do think Zack needs a little help on this. Here's the thing. I think maybe he shouldn't, I'm not saying fire him as a director, but I am saying in terms of the creative control, I don't think he should have overall creative control. And I think that is for anything. I don't think the people directing for the films, and it's like, especially if it's a series thing, person directing these should also be the guy who's overseeing, because I think this could be, because you look at it this way, if Suicide Squad comes out, which I'm looking forward to, and gets really good reviews, say it comes out, I don't know if it is. I mean, who knows? It seems like critics somewhat seem to have a bias against DC. maybe not. We'll see. I don't believe any of the ridiculousness. And I'm just gonna say this: the people who say Disney pays off the critics, really, come on, people. Take the tinfoil off your heads. I mean, that's like the same people who like say Illuminati, Illuminati. Come on, that's not. They didn't pay off any of the reviewers. The reviewers just didn't like the film. So that whole stuff is stupid. Except, I mean, the reviewers who try to compare things to Marvel, those reviewers, I do feel are biased. But Disney didn't pay off reviewers. Just stop with that stuff. That's just ridiculous. The problem is, if Suicide Squad comes out and gets really critical reviews, I think Warner's may have to look at that like, okay, that film just got critical standards, and if it's unanimously liked by audience and say it does way bigger than what it was supposed to, hey, say Batman v Superman only makes a little over 300 million, and that comes out, say that makes 400 million, and gets critical reviews, makes maybe 800 million at the box office with stellar reviews. Say Wonder Woman comes out, critical reviews, big box office. You have to look at it. Say both of those films make more than Batman v Superman. Say Batman v Superman makes a little over 350 million, which I think honestly that's all it's gonna make. It's not gonna make any farther than that because it's gonna have such a bad drop off, unfortunately, because just the regular audiences, and it's split with everybody. I mean, I'm a realist of these things. I wasn't one of those people who said, oh, it's going to beat The Force Awakens. Nothing beats Star Wars. It's just the way it is. Star Wars is king of everything. But I feel like if those films come out and get really, really good reviews and stellar critical reviews from audiences too, and even make more than Batman v Superman, I think Warner's will truly have to look at that, because you cannot have a director who people don't seem to like certain things and seems to have a lot of issues be the creative person trying to tell other directors who people think hey, I can actually do better jobs than you can. You can't really have that guy being the oversee, because it may get to a point where those other directors may be like, hey, why the hell are you giving me advice? It's like, seriously, look at your films. People actually critically like my films and think mine are actually done better than yours. So why are you telling me what to do? That may be an issue. I really do think they need a different creative person behind the actual overseers of this. Or I don't think it should be Zack by himself. I really just don't. But yeah, 8.5. Like the film, seen it twice. I'm going to see it again. I've seen it twice already in IMAX. I'm going to see it a third time in IMAX because it's really the only way to watch it with that sound. But yes, so yes, that was my big return. So Batman v Superman, have you seen it? Did you like it? I know there's a lot of people who didn't like it. Also, real quick, yes, the music. I'll just say, just real quick before I sign off, the music was great. And really, okay, so that's really about it. Leave the comments below. Tell me what you think. Maybe I might think about returning to do... Because here's the thing. I'm too lazy or just don't feel like doing editing and putting in the side screen boxes for the picture-in-picture with reactions. And if I don't do that, and if I return and don't do that, some people will probably... I'll get a bunch of comments saying, why don't you just do the picture-in-picture thing like everybody else? Personally, I don't like to be like everybody else. I just... Maybe I'll think I might do more reactions. It depends. I mean, what's the next trailer to come out? Probably the next big one will be Rogue One, which is rumored to be attached to Civil War and might actually drop before it comes out. So I may return to doing that, or even doing more reviews. I mean, I do watch The Flash. I am watching The Flash. I'm watching Arrow. I'm watching Legends of Tomorrow. I do watch a crap ton of TV shows that I actually could review. Game of Thrones is coming. Can't wait. Too bad the books haven't come out yet. 6 freaking years. This is ridiculous. But anyway, that's a way off topic. But yeah, that's my Batman Superman review. Leave some comments below. Tell me what you think. And I guess if you want, I might return and do some more reactions. And because, like I said, everything I do, these are always my honest opinions about things. I'm not trying to hype it up. But that was my opinion. I like Batman v Superman 8.5. So I guess if I return, I do some more videos, which I might. See you guys in the next video.